Indiana, what is going on? It is December 3rd, and we have ourselves a storm to talk about. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Already, I'm starting to pull my hair out over this. If the rest of the winter storms go like this, I won't have much hair left. I don't have much anyway, but I won't have much left by the end of the winter. Indiana's always in the hardest spot in the winter. It's never simple. The whole state just can't get snow. We always have to have ice somewhere. We always have to have sleet. We always have to have snow. And this weekend, or Friday, Thursday night into Friday looks no different. So let me get into it. This is the Weather Prediction Center's probabilities of greater than an inch of snow ending Friday morning, which, greater than an inch, they've got 60 to 70%. In central Indiana, 60 to 70%. That's a pretty good bet. Now, this does end Friday morning. I expect it to be continuing on through Friday morning into the afternoon. Greater than 2 inches, they've got us in the 2 inch. Greater than 2 inches, you can see they're thinking down here in Missouri has a better shot at greater than 2 inches through this time frame. Which, like I said, this would scoot this way later on in the day. Okay, if you understand what I'm saying. So they've got us at this moment of time, which would be Friday morning when all the snow hasn't fallen. They've got us in the 5 to 10%, and greater than 4 inches of snow. Right now, they've got Missouri down. Like I said, this only goes through Friday morning. So, let me go to the big story though: the freezing rain. And this is never good. Okay, we're talking about a tenth. 1/100th of an inch right here. Not a big deal. It's really not. Okay, they've got a pretty high probability from, say, Columbus into Evansville, and that's the area I'm targeting. That's where everybody's targeting, but I cannot stress enough how much this can change, and I will show you this later on. Greater than a tenth of an inch. This is when you start getting problems. Okay, they've got it pretty high down here. Okay, and I'll show you why this happens here shortly. They've got it pretty high down here, especially in Arkansas. This is going to have to be watched. There is an ice storm potential with this system. Okay, greater than 0.2 of an inch, which is when you really start getting into trouble. That's when you start seeing power lines smack, and you start getting the power outages that you just don't want to see. Again, down here, higher probabilities, but I expect this to move into southern Indiana. I really do. I see a potential ice situation setting up for someone in Indiana. Even us, maybe. Even us here in central Indiana. I have not discounted us out yet. Okay. Greater than half an inch, that is no good. You get half an inch of ice, freezing rain. And this is freezing rain, okay? I will explain the difference here in a minute. This is freezing rain. This is rain that's freezing on contact with the ground. This is the type that freezes on the power lines. This is bad down here, and I'm telling you, this has every chance in the world, I'm not saying it will happen, to move up through southern central Indiana. It does. I'm not discounting this. I can't discount it, okay? So I'm going to go to the Euro today. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold working. You have to hang with me here. I'm going to go 72 hours out. This would be starting really early or late Thursday night. Here comes the snow. You can see it from the west starting to approach. The Euro's got it. Okay, here it comes. Okay, now we're into Friday morning. Okay, we got 4 inches already. It's saying 4 inches on the ground already in southern Indiana. I've got a little bit of a problem with this. I just don't know if this is all going to be snow down here. I just don't know yet. The Euro seems awful south to me. I've been debating, what is central Indiana going to get? I just don't know yet. I just don't know. We're only in Tuesday, and the system's got a lot of shifting to do. So, 90 hours out. 96 hours. You can see the Euro keeps the heaviest snow down here in southern Indiana and in northern Kentucky. Now we're due for a new run here in about hour and a half, 2 hours. This run was from last night, late at night, so I will watch that and many others. But this is the total for the first wave we have coming through. Now, the all-glorious NAM. And let me give you a little history on the NAM. The NAM is a short-range model that runs 84 hours out, okay? It only runs 84 hours out. The NAM is notorious for two things, in my eyes. One, it's notorious for bringing what we call warm air advection in really far north. What we call warm air advection, which is warm air coming up from down here south and gets entrenched in these storms and it can screw anything up. Two, It is known for, and I'm going to go straight to hour 84. 2, it is known for not being as good this far out. And look at hour 84. Oh my goodness. Let me zoom in right here on this. It's got, this is the good old NAM, I believe, up to its tricks. It can't be discounted, but it's got good old southern Indiana and central Indiana, and 9 to, you can read the colors over here, 9 to 13 inches of snow. Do I believe this? Not at all right now. I don't. But it cannot be discounted. You never know. The NAM could hit it, but the NAM, just trust me, the NAM is known for overdoing moisture. But as of right now, I can't count this. It's nice to look at, yeah, but I've been through this song and dance too many times. So, anyway. Okay. Let me see here. Now, we're going to go, this is the whole gist of what we're dealing with. This is how snow, sleet, and freezing rain occur. And you cannot understand or begin to understand how many times I get this question from people that still don't understand. There is a huge difference between freezing rain and sleet, okay? Snow. Let's get it started here. Snow falls in the upper levels of the atmosphere. First of all, there's always snow up there. Even when it's raining in the summer, it starts out as snow every time. It just requires different warming layers to melt it, okay? What we hope up here, I'm leaning toward this solution up here right now. What we hope to happen is, there you go, snow falls, cold air is firmly in place, entrenched, melts, boom, falls on contact with snow. And we get the nice fluffy snow all the kids get to play in. Remains to be seen if this will be snowman snow, by the way. So, well, it should be. It should be snowman snow. I don't think it's going to be quite cold enough to fluff this up and give it the fluff factor. But anyway, now sleet is the next precip type. And if we don't get snow, sleet is what you want to get. Okay, sleet is the pellets you hear falling. You don't know how many times I've heard this from people that it's sleeting outside and they say, oh, it's freezing rain. No, that's not true. Remember, okay, it falls as snow, melts into rain. Okay, there's warm air aloft right here. There's a little layer of warm air that undercuts and moves in. Falls, it remelts as a pellet, then bang, it hits the ground as sleet pellets. This is much more simple to drive in, to deal with, than what I'm about to get to right over here. This is the worst of the worst of the worst in winter, and that's freezing rain. Freezing rain has been responsible for millions of dollars worth of damage. Power lines down, trees down. This is what we are most likely going to see somewhere in this state, and I believe it's going to happen somewhere. Snow falls, it melts. There's a thicker layer of warm air aloft, as you can see right here. A much thicker layer. It gets entrenched. It gets stuck down here in these lower levels. Okay, and nobody knows. We just don't know where it's going to set up yet. We have an idea, but we don't know where it's going to set up and how thick this warm air in the lower levels is going to be. And that's the difference between freezing rain and sleet. If it's shallower, if it's much shallower, we'll luck out and get sleet. But if it's much more entrenched, much more deep, we will get freezing rain. But anyway, freezing rain falls, stays as rain. It does not have time to remelt as sleet. And the bottom, and as it hits the ground, it refreezes on contact because we were below freezing on the ground. And the best way to check for freezing rain, folks, is this is what I found. Look outside on your trees. Your trees will be the very first indicator of freezing rain. When you see them icing over, that's when we've got a problem. So the trees are the first indicator. The power lines will be the first indicator as well. Concrete usually takes longer, but the trees are always number one. Trees, trellises, anything that's outside. Look on your deck too if you got a deck. That's the first indicator. If you see ice starting to form, you've got freezing rain, and that's just stay inside. Don't even go out in it, because this is the type of precip we do not want to see, and this is the type you cannot drive on. Nobody can drive on. So, and the fourth, of course, is normal rain, where the temperature's above freezing and the flakes fall, and we all see this. I'm going to go to the Canadian model today. I'm going to show you a couple things. I talked about this, and I never ever toot my own horn. I'm not doing it here, but I'm just bringing this up. I talked about what we call a battle zone, okay? And it's setting up. It's setting up exactly the way all of us thought it was going to set up, okay? Here's today. You can see why we're so warm. We got this warm southerly flow right here. We got our low right here. This is the first. Now, keep your eye up here, okay? Let's go to hour 66 here. 72. Okay. Now, what I want to show you is what I talked about. Remember up here I talked about, here's this cold I mean bitter cold northwest Arctic air moving down this way, okay? Here's what we call, right in here, a southeast ridge, okay? Right here. They're butting heads, okay? They're butting heads right here. And look exactly where they're butting heads. Bingo, there's our battle zone right there. And look who's in the battle zone, us, Indiana. Now, precip type is going to, it's all going to matter on how far this southeast ridge wants to push up and how far this northwest bitter cold Arctic air wants to nudge down. If this southeast ridge pushes up higher, this will push warmer temps up this way. Okay? Changing everything, maybe introducing an ice situation to us. Now, if this up here, if this ridge decides it wants to push down, say, into here, right in this area, then this precip right here is going to get suppressed down into southern Indiana, and we may be left with very minimal snow accumulations. I just don't know. I'm not confident yet. We're too far out. It's Tuesday, and we're talking about something Thursday into Friday. This is early, okay? So I just wanted to touch base with you on Friday. There is another system coming in on Sunday. I'll touch base on that really fast. As you can see, this is going out Friday, Saturday. Okay, now watch what happens here on Sunday. Oh yeah, here we go. We've got our next one right here. We've got there's our next one right there. But look right here. Again, we're in a battle zone. There, all this cold air right here. See that 540 line right there? There's that freezing line. Here's the warmer air, the shallow warmer air. Okay. Here's our battle zone. I know I'm making a lot of lines. Our battle zone's right here in the middle. Again, we're still in the battle zone. Okay. But where this tracks, I don't know yet. And anybody that says they do, they just don't. It could either track further north and give us rain. It could either get suppressed by this and get squished south, is what we call suppression. That's why I keep talking about this. If you see temperatures that get too cold, say highs in the low 20s, these southern systems are going to get, let me bring my drawing tool. These southern systems right here are going to get squashed. Not that far, but they're going to get squashed down this way. They do not like to ride into this cold air. It's these boundaries they like to ride on. See this boundary right here between the 540 and the 546 line? This is where they like to ride because they tap into the moisture from the south and they tap into the cold air from the northwest. It wraps the cold air around. That's how we get our snow. Okay? So, anyway, I've talked enough. I've done it again. Talked too long, 12 minutes. This is what I'm looking at right now. I will have many more updates. Stay tuned, Indiana. You know how it is here, folks. I don't know what's going to go down here on Friday, but I expect the warnings and the watches will start coming out Thursday for some type of winter event. Right now, early call, I'll say 2 to 4 inches here in central Indiana to play safe. So, anyway, I will have much more. Everyone take care.